and the ones that do it best. Oh yeah, start a movement with the crew. You got a few, we got a slew. We tryna do what they said that we couldn't do. Oh yeah, I ain't living with regrets. Ain't no limits, ain't no rest. They want money, power, respect. I want more, I wanna be blessed. We want the legacy. We got the hope and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory. We want the glory. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, you know I do it for the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, hey, when I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory. For the real, I know how they used to feel. Now I'm here up in the field, making these moves, making these deals. I made something out of nothing. I ain't bluffing, no discussion. Look at the numbers, I've been hustling. Little rough around the edges, still I made it though. Still I just been laying low. Man, I just feel grateful though. I know where I come from, man, I ain't alone. Yeah, and I feel so blessed, too blessed to be stressed. And I'm with the day unos, they don't ride to the death. We got the legacy, we got the hope, and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory, we want the glory. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, you know I do it for the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, hey, when I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory.
Don't get me started, I'm pleading. If this is a race, can't none of y'all beat me. Boy, I'm so good, it feel like I'm cheating. The well of the storm, I feel like it's season. This type of drive could push Lamborghinis. So get yourself signed and have your own sneaker. I'm in the band, I'm pushing the meter. A legend like John for everyday people. I got the heart of a champion. I got the blood of a winner. I don't know how to be stagnant. I got way too much ambition. I keep on beating statistics. How would I be denied? My only option is winning. I'm crossing the finish line. I put myself in a place where nothing can top me. I feel like I'm space. It's bigger than profit, but still I get paid. My thinking colossal, not minimum wage. Talk to the loss like I know the way. Stay on my job like who need a break? It wasn't possible, I heard him say, but I'm like MacGyver to all my mistakes. Running back home, now look at the bases. Been winning so long, I feel like a native. I got what you want, but you cannot take it. I do what you don't, cause I'm more creative. I put me on, no help for your favors. I'm breaking the mold to show you the flavors. I got control, you can't enable. I'm using my flaws to make me the greatest. I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one. Yeah, I'm number one. 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 Yeah, I'm number one. I'm number one. Once I
Everybody settle down.
Majestic view of the Richard and Helen DeVos Fieldhouse on the campus of Hope College for game 2 of a basketball doubleheader here at the college by the Inland Sea. The nightcap is the women's match between the Bells of St. Mary's and the Hope College Flying Dutch. A conference matchup between the two. Hope College comes in with a record of 2-0 in the league, tied with Trine atop for first place, 7-2 overall. The Bells with only one MIAA contest. They lost their opener, and they stand at 4-5. I am Scott Vanderstoop, and I am privileged to spend Saturday afternoon with you and to give a little relief to the voice of Hope College basketball, Mr. Mike Coleman. It's good to be back with you, partner.
Yeah, good to see you, V. Scott Vanderstoop, my Hope football partner. Let's be fair, Scott was minding his own business. I got one of those big theater hooks and wrestled him into the DeVos Fieldhouse. But glad to have you along, Scott, as we get to call the second game of this doubleheader. Saw a great men's game, 79-69. And now we shift to the women, ranked number 16th in the nation. They're 7-2. They've won 4 straight, and a chance to really continue their hot start in their third conference game. 2-0 coming up in MIAA play against a winless conference program so far this year in St. Mary's, and Hope heavily favored here at home, where they've always done very, very well.
We'll break down the game, but first we will turn it over to the voice of Hope College basketball, Mr. Darren Deistermars.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome Hope College sophomore, Mr. Kyle Spiegel.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kyle Spiegel.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse here on the campus of Hope College for today's MIAA contest between the Bells of St. Mary's and your Hope College Flying Dutch. Here tonight's starting lineups. First for St. Mary's at 1 forward, a 5'9" freshman from Grand Rapids. Number 5, Kate Passanal. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutch, a 5'10" junior from Angola, Indiana. Number 4, Lauren Leach. At 1 forward for St. Mary's, a 5'8" junior from Mokina, Illinois. Number 15, Nicole Connolly. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutch, a 5'10" junior from Byron Center. Number 25, Sydney Viss. Starting at center for St. Mary's, a 6'2" senior from Dyer, Indiana. Number 34, Julia Schutz. And at center for the Flying Dutch, a 6' senior from Fishers, Indiana. Number 44, Courtney Lee. At 1 guard for St. Mary's, a 5'7" sophomore from Wildwood, Missouri. Number 2, Kate Restovich. And at 1 guard for the Flying Dutch, a 5'6" senior from Midland. Number 11, Jada Garner. And at the final guard spot, the 5'7" sophomore from Wildwood, Missouri. Number 14, Annie Restovich. And at the final guard spot for the Flying Dutch, a 5'6" senior from Lake City. Number 23, Olivia Bellows. St. Mary's is coached by Rob Hoffman. Hope College is coached by Brian Morehouse. Your officials this afternoon, Andy McKellar, Jason Wiley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Darren Deister-Mars. And we are all set to go. Mike Coleman and Scott Vanderstoop joining you, and we are pleased to bring you Game 2. Mike's pulling double duty today. I got off with just a half shift, and we'll see what we can do. We want to thank something about Christmas vacation, Coleman, that makes the students want to get out of here. We have 0 students helping us, so only grown-ups in the house tonight, and they are Mr. Steve Secor and our boss, Freddie Velasquez. We are pleased to bring you this. The tip is underway, and the first possession goes to St. Mary's, and the first voice goes to Mike Coleman.
Thank you, Scott. Well, we saw the men take a 79-69 victory over Ohio Wesleyan. Hope trying to finish the nightcap as night is falling here on the Lakeshore. For St. Mary's, a team at 3-6, averaging 56 points a game. Rob Hoffman, in his first season as the head coach, spent some time with Trine as assistant coach. 4 to shoot, inside, rejected on the offering by Nicole Connolly. And I think Sydney Viss got her hand on that basketball. Good defense to start for Hope.
She did in that first possession, really overplaying on the wings, and that allowed the back door by Connolly, but Viss was just too athletic and got to it. Nice play.
Hope facing a very young starting 5 in St. Mary's. 2 sophomores and a freshman in the starting 5 is Jada Garner, the reigning MIAA MVP. Conducts the offense. Viss in the corner. She's been good after coming off a high ankle sprain. Some good games lately. Double clutch! Falls short, but Olivia Bellows will earn it from the free throw line.
It is a young team, and one of them we'll talk about, Mike, is a local kid. Well, kind of local, Kate Passanal, freshman from Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Passanal, great family in the West Michigan area. Nice for them to have kind of a home game. Calvin and Hope are probably their favorite places.
I would think so. Bellows rattles one home for our first point. Yeah, it's always nice when you see some hometown products in the area from visiting teams, as Bellows hit 2. An early 2-0 lead for Hope, a team that averages 74 points a game. Well, Hope has had St. Mary's number over the years, 32 straight wins, and Brian Morehouse, and you've been around for a lot of that, Scott. He's never lost to St. Mary's here at DeVos Fieldhouse or the Dow Center, for that matter.
Indeed, he hasn't, and it is it's part of a very long tradition of great recruiting and then taking players and just making them better, and he's been able to do that with both, with largely a Michigan footprint, but he's not willing to go to he's not unwilling to go to suburban Chicago or downstate Indiana, where some of our best players have been from.
That is a fact. 2-0 Hope just underway. We'll play 4 10-minute quarters. As a trap topside is Kate Restovich, fine sophomore out of Wildwood, Missouri. I don't remember ever seeing any Missouri players on a Hope roster under Brian Morehouse. Not that there hasn't been, but
that's correct. No, there are no Missourians to the best of my knowledge. We'd have to put the research team on that, and as we've already indicated, we're on a skeletal staff today. So
that's true. Trying to get it in and just hot and bothered on the Bells. They just can't find any purchase as Schultz with 6 to shoot. Restovich with Gardner on her. They're going to have to fire one up deep. Downtown 3, NBA style, off the mark by Kate Passano, the freshman. Bellows trying to weave around. And she works it over to Viss. Sydney Viss, all conference last year. Took her a while to get over an ankle sprain as Garner takes to the rack, and that's a tough injury, Scott V.
It is indeed, and it's good to see him back.
Foul's going to be on Kate Restovich, her first team second, and for the second time, Hope will go to the free throw line. Don't have our online stat portal is a little uncooperative.
Yeah, I just texted Mackenzie. It says we're playing the University of Olivet.
It's Vujade all over again, as Yogi Berry said. Well, we beat Olivet a week ago, 77-49 at Olivet.
Part of the skeletal staff. Gardner is, if you look on the league, she is number 1 in the MIAA in free throw shooting percentage. But if you look on her team, she's actually not number 1 because there's a threshold that the MIAA requires. And I think at this point in the season, it's something like 35 free throws. Gardner has it. Sid Viss does not, although Sid Viss is hitting like 9.23 and Gardner somewhere in the 80s. So very good free throw shooting by a couple of the Dutch starters.
I wonder how they determine the threshold. You could play every game and just not be a player that goes to the line a lot, but it is what it is. Is Gardner trying to get it in?
It's the law of large numbers, Mike Coleman.
It always is. I was told there'd be no math. Bellows from Leach. Bellows in traffic. Over to Garner. Boy, that is a very animated Rob Hoffman from that St. Mary's bench, to say the least.
He is in mid-December form. He has got lots of energy, and love to see it.
Bellows on the 3-ball, chased down by Courtney Lee, one of the leading rebounders on this team. Bellows in traffic. Put back. 4th time the charmer for the Dutch. 5-0 early lead.
Well, it's the biggest game for St. Mary's that they've had, although I don't know who put the schedule together, but don't give whoever put it together credit, because they have not scheduled softies. They had Manchester and Lake Forest, Augustana, WashU, Franklin, all teams that have solid women's basketball programs.
Yeah, without a doubt. Coming off a loss to Holy Cross, an NAI school, in their last game on Wednesday, 84-61. Just kind of a crosstown rival, as Holy Cross is in South Bend. I think it's officially in Notre Dame, Indiana. I wasn't quite sure of that. Is there actually a Notre Dame, Indiana?
There is indeed, yep. I had an official I used to work with who was a young guy. He was great. He went to Holy Cross.
Speaking of, Scott V, just off, you had doubleheader referee basketball today, Scott?
Yeah, a little hard on the old body, but it was so fun. Let's put it this way: I couldn't make that shot right now.
Well, they don't need you right now, Scott. Hope up with a 10-0 lead early on. 6:18 left. We'll step aside. Hope in command here on this Hope Sports Network.
Sports, like healthcare, requires commitment, teamwork, and excellence. That's why Hope College selected Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics to provide athletic training and physical therapy for all Hope College athletes. Get the care you deserve. Trust the team that exceeds expectations. The Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics Sports Medicine Collaborative.
College jumping off to an early lead with a touchdown and a field goal. They lead 10-0. Oh wait, we switched sports. Sid Biss just hit the 3-pointer to put them up 10-0. And early blistering shooting, 3 for 6. And St. Mary's has thrown it up 4 times. They've yet to put it in the cup. Here's Mike Coleman.
Thank you, Scott. And 4 not very good looks for St. Mary's early on. And this is a team that does not go deep on the bench. You got a feeling Hope's just going to wear out the Bells. 3-point launch on the way. That one circles a drain. And rebound by Leah Richards, who's come on strong the last couple games. She had a career high 12 a week ago at Olivet.
Coach Hoffman has had all 5 starters in all 9 games. Hope has had 4 of the starters start 4 times, and then Sid Biss sat out 2 with her injury. And one of the twins took over. We got some subs, actually, including, speaking of twins, we got some kind of the second group in here for Hope.
That is a fact. You got the Richards sisters, Anna, who had those starts, like Scott mentioned, when Sydney Viss was out. And some other players for Hope right now is, well, I see Anna, the 6-foot freshman out of DeWitt. Taryn Maynard, she's just been phenomenal from the get-go. She's a sophomore out of Jenison. And number 2 for Hope, I do not have, is that Chloe Brunsberg? Yeah, I think they forgot Chloe. That's out of Chaska, Minnesota, the rare Minnesota product. I'm pretty sure about that.
Chaska.
You ever been to Chaska?
I haven't. My father grew up in, my grandfather grew up in Chandler, and Provost Emeritus of Hope College, Jack Nineheis, grew up in Pease. Lots of little Dutch towns up there. So stick with me, Coleman. I'll get you.
I got you.
I'll get you through the I'll get you through the upper Midwest. You're in charge of Northern Michigan, though.
All right, yeah, that's a fact. 13 inches of snow. I think I'll give it up for a while. Here's Maynard trying to purchase at the free throw line. St. Mary's collapsing, and hoisting one up and missing is Leah, but she puts it back. Leah Richards, 6'2" freshman, sister of Anna, makes it 12-0 just like that.
She's got the 3rd most minutes of all the Dutch off the bench. That's impressive.
It really is. You know, they were much heralded. They committed a couple years ago. There's a St. Mary's miss, and there was such fanfare. But, you know, Scott, it's not always easy, even with a great high school player, to transfer to college, but they've done it seamlessly so far.
Terrific.
The Chaska, Minnesota sophomore, Chloe Brunsberg, solid 3-point shooter, misses the mark as St. Mary's is looking for their first points. Julie Schutz with the miss. She averages 27% deep, but for a team that shoots 31% from the 3-point line. Now Hope will settle things down with 3:57 left to play in the first. Kate Restovich comes out, Leah Richards at the right elbow. 3-ball launch, Maddie Petrulia skims one off. Offensive rebound, second effort for Hope. Maynard short.
So it's a night of twins. We mentioned Wildwood Mo, Annie Restovich and Kate Restovich. My guess is they have their hometown is supporting them today if they didn't make the trip up. So hello to the Restovich family. 2 sophomores from Visitation Academy, Wildwood Mo.
There we go. You don't see that too often.
No, you don't.
Well, I was looking at the
I had twins, and they didn't want to go to the same college.
Is that right?
No, I mean, I didn't make them, but they ended up both liking it, so I don't think they ever saw each other on campus.
I gotta be me. 3-ball skips off, and that one goes out of bounds. Well, I'm looking at the height differential on these rosters, Scott, and one player over 6 foot tall for St. Mary's. Hope has 7 6 foot or taller. You look at Petrulia on the court now. She's 6'1". Such a big lineup for Brian Morehouse, biggest I remember in a long time.
And it's probably why they jack up a lot of threes. I think it's probably part of Coach Hoffman's strategy.
Yes.
And, you design to your strengths.
And I think you have to. Good stutter step move by Ella Notaro, the freshman out of Crystal Lake. Rob Hoffman screaming for a foul, and just screaming. 3-ball on the way. Anna Richards, perfect.
I think he just needs to get on the board here right now. 15-0. It's Hope. Both Hope squads, the first and the second, have pretty much shut down the Bells. And you're right, they're going to get tired, are the Bells.
Yeah, they play
Nice
a lot of it.
back door, look at that.
Yeah, you bet. Nice feed. Nataro found down low. And a nice feed by Lauren Guma out of Troy, Michigan. She's one of the lone few seniors on this team. There's only 2 on the team, her and Schutz. Anna Richards feigning the 3. How about that 6 foot forward that can handle the basketball? Over to Brunsberg, moving it over to Maynard. Just such a dynamic guard off the bench. 3 ball on the way, short. Another offensive rebound. Boy, Scott, Hope.
Too easy.
Too easy, but they're missing some pups down low. Mid post. Spin and going down hard is one of the St. Mary's players, Mariah Stevens. There's a nice basket, back-to-back deuces for the Bells.
Hope has settled down and returned to the land of the mortals. They're now hitting 33% from the field. A little higher now.
Well, Maddie Petrulia, another heralded transfer out of Loyola of Chicago. That's Division I, folks. Really finding her way after a quiet first 3 or 4 games and making the play defensively. She was nicknamed Mad Dog in high school. She didn't say if she liked it as a put in by Brunsberg.
We might have a warning. We might have a warning on the St. Mary's bench coming up here.
He is. He's out. He's wearing out the varnish in front of the St. Mary's bench. That's for sure. He'll get his 10,000 steps in. We got a stoppage of play and Courtney Lee back in, Jada Garner and Olivia Bellows some starters, Scott.
Well, that's how Mo does it. When he won the national championship, it was great because he ran 5 and 5, and then Savannah Feenstra got hurt, and so he had to figure out a different way, but it worked, and we went all the way to Pittsburgh, and you and Chandler had the call on the radio. That was very cool.
And beautiful.
I didn't listen because I was there, but I love seeing you guys. Thanks for making that trip.
I didn't know you were there.
Yeah.
You should have come down, and I would have given you the headset. I would have gone and got a pizza or something. No, that was fun. Would have had you on at halftime. 3 ball. Bellows skirts one off. Chased down another offensive board, the 8th of the day for Hope. That was an exciting time, was it not, Scott?
It was wonderful.
Yes, Savannah Feenstra went down with the injury. Bellows, fearless in traffic, and she fills it. I don't know how many teams can have their leading scorer come off the bench like Bellows did last year.
Unbelievable, yeah. Lots of depth. And, you know, if you look at the MIAA stats as the quarter's going to wind out, if you look at the MIAA stats, oh, they got a foul with 0.3 of a second. That's not going to, that will not set well with Coach Hoffman. Although they're not going to shoot it, so I guess we'll be okay. But if you look at, if you look at the MIAA leaders, it's rare to find, someone from Hope at the very top, unless it's a percentage or something. But in terms of scoring, there's always so much balance, and it was the year they won the national championship too. We've completed one frame, as Mr. Mike Coleman would say. Hope with a big lead, 22-7. We will be back, and this will allow them to take us off of the camera. That's in our contract.
Hi, Mom.
They just want to see Dan Diodana. Turn around and wave, Dan.
Say hi, Dan. You're on the camera. There he is. Down in front, Diodana.
Holland Sentinel's finest working the game tonight. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're watching Hope College women's basketball.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing? Your title agency matters, and you have a choice. Lighthouse Title started in Holland, Michigan more than 20 years ago and has grown to over 45 locations. We are proud to be local in these communities. Visit Lighthouse Title for more information and use our online widget, Louis the Lightkeeper.
Yeah, we didn't know each other as well then.
About how we can help you close on your new home.
My name is Megan Bigelow, and during my time there, I was on the Hope women's soccer team. I decided to choose Hope because of the opportunity to be involved in multiple things. I didn't want to go somewhere where I was just a number in the field. I was able to double major, experience both a business academic load as well as economics. I loved the opportunity to really get to know my professors. Hope exceeded my expectations.
I'm Nate Bauman. As an invested community partner, we're proud to help share Hope's stories of transformational impact.
Hope College hitting 42%. St. Mary's 23. St. Mary's will start with the ball, but they got a big hill to climb. And here with the play-by-play is Mike Coleman.
Thank you, Scott. Scott kind enough to join us on the broadcast. A double dribble. I haven't seen that since the Obama administration. You don't see that too often anymore.
I had a coach ask for 3 seconds last night. I told him I hadn't called a 3 seconds since the first Bush was president. I guess there must be political jokes about infrequency of calls.
I just think it fits. It kind of puts it in perspective. I think I went back as far as Eisenhower one year on a call. Boy. Rob Hoffman, I'm sorry, it's like I just can't help it. He was all smiley and quiet, and then once the game started, he flipped a switch, but that's okay. That fire's good. Hopefully it's 22-7. Turnover, 7th of the day for St. Mary's, average 22 a game. And Lauren Leach shooting 60% from deep, arguably the most improved player from last year. As Bellows on good ball motion misses it, too much mustard, and chasing that one down on the weak side is Annie Restovich. I always wondered, Scott, when you have sisters, you go Annie R, Kate R, Anna R, Leah Richards. It's tough. I guess you do the full name. Absolutely. 3-ball. So we'll take votes.
You're doing great.
Boy, nice penetration by Kate Passano. No points in that first quarter of the Grand Rapids Catholic Central product. And now we've got substitutions as number 34, Julia Schutz back in. Or Schutz, excuse me. And at number 2, Kate Restovich back in.
In that first quarter, Hope had balanced scoring as they always do. 5 from Sid Viss and 4 from Olivia Bellows. Just lots of balance. 22 points in the first quarter. That's where we are right now.
First offering by Passano was off the mark. That one skips out.
Oh, the rim was unkind. It was such a nice touch.
Sure was. But good hustle. 3rd offensive rebound of the day for St. Mary's. As they work the offense now, they cough it up once again, and Courtney Lee just wrestles that basketball away. Hope coming off a big win over Olivet. You look at that on paper, it was 77-49, but it was a 6-point lead for Hope at half until a huge third quarter created separation as there was a foul on the... Hope shooting 40% to 21% for St. Mary's.
Maynard's averaged 18 minutes per game. Good numbers for a young player.
Yeah, especially last year. She was a freshman and just kind of took charge in that. She made the second 10, which is pretty rare for a freshman to really get significant minutes, and she certainly did. Felt very comfortable. There's Leah Richards doing the same thing in her first year. Boy, Petrulia trying to work hard. And defense, yes, Nataro.
Yeah. Displacement off the block. I had one of those calls.
You did today.
Good call, good call by Andy McKellar. Displacement, we want to avoid it, and if you, it's a huge advantage. So it's usually the defense who commits it, but once in a while you get a big post player who will displace a defensive player and offensive foul.
I've never heard that term before.
You got to hang around with me more often.
Do you actually say that's a foul on displacement?
No.
Slash and score.
Coaches don't want to hear technical stuff.
No.
It was a foul, Coach. Tell her not to do it again.
I told him to cut down on displacement fouls. 30-11, Hope in control, trying to win their 5th straight. St. Mary's has lost 5 of 6. 5:45 left, 11 on the shot clock until halftime. Step back 3-ball, good look, no go, and clearing it is Brunsberg, the mystery person on this roster. Wow, good feet inside, easy deuce. Coming off a career high 12 against Olivet, Leah Richards. Double figures in the last 2 games and a nice response basket on the other end.
Nice little slip play, Julia Schutz finding some spots. Her 2nd bucket of the night. Nice little play on the strong side.
Yeah, she's nice. 5th in the league in scoring at 13 a game, and that one sails. And a rare turnover for just their 4th. I was looking at the national numbers, Scott, and just looking to see what Hope had to offer nationally, but they're 22nd out over 400 teams in Division III and fewest turnovers, which is always nice to see if you're a coach.
Well, especially when you're playing with the kind of tenacity that the Hope offense plays, particularly after rebounds. I mean, they push, and so yeah, it's a credit to them.
And it's also is a team that doesn't get 30 minutes from their starters too, so you've got a deep bench, and the fact they're still able to have that discipline.
Yep.
And a travel call, 10th on St. Mary's. That's been their bugaboo all year, is 22 turnovers a game. Maynard over the anchor. We saw the men play their first home game since November 8th, take care of Ohio Wesleyan, the first meeting in 11 years. And these two teams have gone at it for a long time in the MIAA.
Shall we say we've been battling the Bishops?
That's exactly the battling Bishops.
That's why you invited me.
That's right. Bingo! Maynard for the trifecta.
That's her second bucket of the night. She's got 5 total.
Well, as my better half, Tamara Chase, always says, if you're going to have 2, you might as well have 10. We don't have 10 headsets, but we have 2. By the way, doctor listening in this afternoon. Good defense by Maynard with the quick hands with 4:02 left until halftime. Well, Scott, I want to, let's try and slip in a little volleyball here too. As the voice of Hope College volleyball, tremendous run by a fine team this year, fell a bit short.
They were terrific, fun to call. Watching that Juniata match, we had our flights booked for Friday night because we taught. We figured we probably ought to stay here and teach our classes. But we were going to fly to Baltimore, take my daughter who played on the 2014 team. Nice putback. And we ended up having to cancel them, of course, because it looked like things were going to go well on that Thursday night. But Juniata flipped a switch, and they are a very good team. The 3 best teams clearly in the country, Whitewater, Hope, and Juniata, and it was good that those 3 were playing in the semis. I thought it was a great season. Someone has to win, someone has to lose.
And by the way, your daughter had the pleasure and privilege of playing on that national championship team in 2014, which is such a memory, huh?
Brunswick.
She can hit the 3, no doubt about it. Brunsburg got a lot of playing time as a freshman too last year. And Brunsburg averaging 7 points a game and shooting 50% from deep, drops down to triple. It's all Hope in the first half.
Hope's playing really high on the screens, and St. Mary's is doing the right thing, trying to get back cuts, but they just can't really get loose. They've had a couple of times, and they've picked up a couple of layups and missed a layup, but that's what you have to do when a team's overplaying you like that. You got to try to get some back screens and get something free, but they're so athletic and they're so disciplined, and they can play defense really hard for 30 seconds and make life just really hard on their opponents. And they're not pulling any punches. Like, I'm not giving you the ball in the wing. I don't care if you beat me backdoor.
And Brian Morehouse has been using that defensive philosophy for as long as I've been here, and it just rattles a lot of teams, creates a lot of turnovers, shortens a court on the other end if you do get a turnover on the wing. Bellows just into the game, misses off the front iron. Rebound Viss as the starter's back in. That'll stay with Hope.
Big muscular rebound by Sid Viss on that. Just went over everybody.
Yeah, she's an incredible basketball player, and she reminds me of Sydney Muller from a couple years ago.
Yeah, tenacious.
Yeah, just strong slasher, does a lot of things well. Courtney Lee, good turnaround, misses it. Courtney Lee is on pace to finish in the top 10 all-time in Hope in field goal percentage. She's fell off the last couple games. 3-ball on the way. Yes, Kate Restovich, the sophomore, averaging 9 points a game. Drops down a triple. 40-16. Trying to respond is Lauren Leach.
Courtney Lee, one of those Indiana players. It's a Michigan footprint, but they'll go to Illinois Illinois and Indiana to get them, and she's had a great career. She's played a lot early on. That's the thing, you know, when you play for Hope and you're going to win a lot of decisive games, another 3 by Sid Viss, you get opportunities to rack up numbers, even though you might not play a lot of minutes. I mean, if you think about all the games that all these players get to play, you can make some damage you can do some damage over 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the philosophy. You get that, you know, you're talking about there's a good offensive putback, good play.
Grayson Guy.
But,
oh, excuse me, not Grayson Guy. I got there,
Nicole Connolly. But, you know, you play such tough D, you contest on the wing, you're really heavy in the backcourt defensively. You can play all out because you substitute 5 for 5. And you just Hope just wears teams down. But you have to have the depth. Oh, Courtney Lee had Connolly land on her, and Courtney Lee is in a considerable amount of pain.
We are going to get the athletic trainer, Mr. Tim Coburn, out to take a look, and this will give us a chance to take a break. So, Freddie, let's bring it back to the deep recesses of DeVos Fieldhouse, and you are watching Hope College women's basketball.
It's no secret. The best way to learn about Hope College is to spend time on our campus. The Hope admissions team invites you to a personalized visit experience you won't forget. Located in downtown Holland, Michigan, our historic campus is close to shopping and dining and just 10 minutes from Lake Michigan. We invite you to check out our campus tour options or sign up for an online tour with the Hope admissions office. There's never been a better time to see Hope College. Visit us at hope.edu/admissions.
Our students act as beacons of hope for their community. They lead with courage, conviction, patience, and strength. They're ready to change the world.
Courtney Lee walking off with the assistance of Mr. Tim Coburna, and looks like she might, I think she's earned a break. She got hit hard.
Yeah, it looks like she's favoring her right arm, right elbow, just kind of in a 90-degree position. Never want to speculate, but she'll walk off to the right and get tended to with 43 seconds to go until halftime. Courtney Lee, first year that she has been a consistent starter. Now Hope working a 2-3 zone to close out the first half. 14 to shoot, penetrating. Kick out. And a travel call as Nataro took too many steps. That's a turnover.
Little shuffle, and it's nice to fake your opponent, but you need to keep that pivot foot.
Yes, you do. 12 turnovers by St. Mary's. Scoring has been an issue for this team. They had only 9 made field goals in the loss to Calvin back on December 7th. And they've had some dry spells through the course of the year.
There we go.
Yep. At the buzzer, Sydney for 3. Buzzer beater.
I kept thinking, hey, while we're young, let's go, players, and they know what they're doing.
She knew exactly what was what the situation was. How about that for a closeout to the first half? 46-18, a 15-0 run to start. Hope has never looked back as we head to intermission. With Scott Vanderstoop, I'm Mike Coleman, and we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll look at all the numbers. We'll see what's going on in the MIAA 2 and maybe some top 25 in the second game of this broadcast doubleheader. All Hope on the Hope Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Yeah, my name is Travis Williams. I'm the CEO of the ODC Network. I graduated from Hope in 1998. I studied biology, and then I also played football. In order to be successful, people really need more than just the academic experience, but they need people to come alongside them and help them, coach them, mentor them. I find that Hope College has just been one of the best examples of being able to do that anywhere.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to help share Hope stories of transformational impact.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing? Your title agency matters, and you have a choice. Lighthouse Title started in Holland, Michigan more than 20 years ago and has grown to over 45 locations. We are proud to be local in these communities. Visit Lighthouse Title for more information and use our online widget Louie the Lightkeeper to chat with someone today about how we can help you close on your new home.
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from a world-class employer. Now's the time to join Team Gentex.
Sports, like healthcare, requires commitment, teamwork, and excellence. That's why Hope College selected Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics to provide athletic training and physical therapy for all Hope College athletes. Get the care you deserve. Trust the team that exceeds expectations. The Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics Sports Medicine Collaborative.
There are over 5,000 colleges and universities in the United States alone, and nearly every single one of them is named after a location or a historical figure. But along the shores of Lake Michigan, there is a school whose namesake is not a founder, not a historical figure, not a state, city, or physical landmark. It is named after an ideal, a virtue, a way of life. Its name is hope. It is so easy to get lost in what this world lacks, to become discouraged by its needs, gaps, and flaws. Can we see beyond the uncertainty and brokenness? At Hope College, we do. Not by ignoring the world as it is, but by learning and living with the belief that this is not the world as it should be, by driving to understand, to unlock clarity, to amplify truth, by leading with inspired compassion, by embodying a vision that illuminates greater opportunity for all, by serving with anchored conviction, using our collective gifts to offer this world what it needs most. Hope. Not simply hope as a desire, but hope as a way of being. Because hope has changed the way we see the world. And hope drives us to change the way the world is. Because hope shapes our calling. Because hope inspires our dreams. Because hope empowers our talents. Because hope frees us to try. Because hope transforms what we believe, transforms how we act, transforms who we are. At Hope College, we know this life-altering grace is a gift we have all been given, and it is the greatest gift we can offer the world. Hope transforms.
blessing the ones that do it best. Oh yeah, start a movement with the crew. You got a few, we got a slew. We trying to do what they said that we couldn't do. Oh yeah, I ain't living with regrets. Ain't no limits, ain't no rest. They want money, power, respect. I want more, I wanna be blessed. We want the legacy. We got the hope and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory. We want the blessing. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, you know I do it for the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, ay, when I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory. For the real, I know how they used to feel. Now I'm here up in the field, making these moves, making these deals. I made something out of nothing. I ain't bluffing, no discussion. Look at the numbers, I've been hustling. Little rough around the edges, still I made it though. Still I just been laying low. Man, I just feel grateful though. I know where I come from, man, I ain't alone. Yeah, and I feel so blessed. Too blessed to be stressed. And I'm with the day unos. They don't ride to the death. We got the legacy. We got the hope and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory. We want the glory. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, you know I do it for the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, ay, when I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory.
In our popular mythology, revolutions happen in Silicon Valley, right? But no, the revolution happened here.
I think we are starting a revolution. It's coming from a very strong sense of who we are.
It's immediately creating a multi-generational community.
There's something magical happens when you shift from being a payer to being a giver.
Hope Forward has 58 students, I think, today-ish. You know, when we started in '94, we had 47. It's doable. What they're trying to do is doable. Getting people to believe early on is the hardest part.
It has given people a sense of belonging to a cause greater than themselves.
This can happen. This is possible. And we need each of you to be brand ambassadors for this initiative.
We're all aware of the crisis in American education. There are other crises as well that I think are linked to it. The second is the crisis facing our young people, the mental health crisis. And the third crisis is the crisis in our church. And when I look at what is happening here at this school, in this community, I see it as not just addressing the first of those crises, but all three of them.
The students are incredible, and the idea is incredible. Why not 30 years from now, this is the norm?
I've said this a million times, but who better than a place called Hope to run toward things that to the world look hopeless?
Trouble don't mean a thing. Snap your fingers and I'm on the scene.
Sports, like healthcare, requires commitment, teamwork, and excellence. That's why Hope College selected Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics to provide athletic training and physical therapy for all Hope College athletes. Get the care you deserve. Trust the team that exceeds expectations. The Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics Sports Medicine Collaborative.
We welcome you back to the DeVos Fieldhouse on the campus of Hope College, where our cameraman is, it's specifically in my contract. I have a face for radio and a voice for print. How many times do I have to tell him? The Flying Dutch running away with the first half. They lead 46-18. They lead in every imaginable category, perhaps the most disparate. Points off and turnovers. Hope 19. St. Mary's College, nothing. It has been a great first half, led, another balanced attack. Sid Viss put herself in the leading score position with that pretty little 3 as the buzzer went off. She's got 11. Anna Richards has 7, 5 each for Sister Leah and Tara Maynard. Tara Maynard and Chloe Brunsberg. Sister Leah has 4. For the St. Mary's Bells, they have 18 total and a pretty balanced attack. Nobody has more than 4, and that's Julia Schutz on 2 two-pointers. As the depth and the length of Hope College and their really tenacious defense has been the story, Mike Coleman.
Yeah, you always turn to the intangible stats as far as points off turnovers, and like you said, 19-0, Hope leads that stat. I will say this, though, St. Mary's with a little sign of life. They were 5 of 11 from the field in the second quarter just to come back from nowhere, but a lot of starters with a lot of minutes as they don't go very deep, and Hope's been able to really balance things out as 9 have scored for Hope College in the first half. And a couple of good things that I like. Hope has been over 40% shooting the last 3 games, shooting 50% at half. And Sydney Viss, after coming back from that ankle injury, now 3 straight games in double figures, so she's back to mid-season form from last year from the looks of things.
And as you said, they don't have a lot of depth. It's been Connolly, Passanault, Restovich, and Schutz. They've started all 9 games this year. As we are all set to start the third frame, Hope College with the ball and Mike Coleman with the call.
You betcha. Hope and their home whites moving right to left. And good to see Courtney Lee back in the game, too. That is a welcome sight. Sydney Viss picks up where she left off. Bookend baskets around halftime, 48-18. Boy, that is, Courtney looked like she was in considerable amount of discomfort, so the fact that she's on the court is amazing. Passanault gives to Schutz, trying to drive. Good baseline jumper, good ball motion, nothing doing as Courtney Lee with a rebound.
If I were Sydney Viss, this is probably why I never made it very far in college basketball, I might quit right now. She's 5 for 5 and 3 for 3 from three-point land. Like, you're not going to get any better than that, girl. Just maybe call it a night.
No doubt. You're pushing your luck. That's where you drop the mic and walk away. I was watching a G League basketball game last night where both teams, one was 5 for 5 from 3 and one was 7 for 7 until one team missed. I've never seen anything like it.
Even the G League? Do they play defense in the G League?
Well, it's suggested but not encouraged.
The voice of the Grand Rapids Drive. You heard it here.
Yeah, you bet. It was a lot of fun last night. If you've never been to a game down at Van Andel Arena in downtown Grand Rapids and get between 4,000 and 5,000 fans for a G League game, which is pretty tremendous attendance.
They're a top attendance team, aren't they?
They are. They really are. Affiliated the Denver Nuggets. Quick timeout. Why don't we keep it here for just a second? I think it's a 30-second, so we'll keep it here, Scott. want to say congrats to the men's basketball team earlier as they won 79-69. And it was the first game in over a month for the men. They lost the season opener to Anderson right here. But Hope shot 55%. And I will tell you, Scott, after coming off 2 games in Wisconsin where they had a mixed bag, they lost both. The first game at Whitewater on Friday was rough. The second one on Saturday against number 5 Platteville was a great game. Hope passed the ball well and they shot the ball well. It was an impressive victory today.
Yeah, I think that, I met assistant coach Ken George, who's a longtime friend of mine. We met downtown and just kind of caught up on life. And I said, it's amazing. You're a top 20 team in the nation, and there is a real possibility you could finish 3rd in your league. And he said, oh yeah, the MIAA is that good that you can be 21st in the nation and possibly only 3rd in the league. I'm not saying that'll happen, and I'm sure Coach Mitch wants something other than that, but Calvin and Trine are real, and those are not 4 guaranteed games by any means.
No, it was crazy. Trine, if you follow things, they won the D3 National Championship last year. Hope was the last team to beat them in the MIAA tournament. Then Calvin, I think, went to the Elite 8.
They did.
And Hope College fell in the second round to a very good Case Western team that shot 8 for 8 from 3 in the second half. I'll never forget that as long as I live, B.
Oh, yeah. Well, the women got a few days off, but not many, as they're going to travel on Wednesday to Springfield, Ohio, one of my favorite towns. I used to love to watch volleyball there. They're going to play Muskingum on Wednesday, and then they're going to play host Wittenberg on Thursday. So they got a little, not a big rest, and then they got to jump back right after New Year's on January 4th against their rival Calvin.
Yeah, Restovich with a 3-point ball makes it 48-21, shot off the mark. But, those road games, Scott, I think it's a good test for a Hope team that normally plays a majority of their non-conference games here at DeVos. And teams they don't really see too often. They said Muskingum, I think, is the first.
Yep.
And then Wittenberg.
Yeah, people like to come up here, and we like to host. We have a good crowd. We have great facilities, and so teams are excited to come up here for tournaments, and it's good for us. It's good for them, and but it's also good to get on the road and get challenged a little bit. So
now we have substitutions as Leah Richards in, sister Anna, and Maddie Petrulia. Is she out there? Nope, she is not. Jada Garner, Sydney Viss, Lauren Leach, and the Richards sisters.
Interesting defense by Gardner. She was on the ball, but she chose not to. She put her back to the ball, and she just kind of took up space in the middle.
Yeah, interesting.
And, like, no one's getting in here. Shortest player on the court, taking care of business in the paint.
Travel calls, too many steps for Sydney Viss, but just the 5th turnover for Hope. Yeah, you don't see that too often. It's just atypical facing away from the inbound. You're just filling up that space. Jana Garner, all conference, all MIAA MVP. And just one, like you mentioned in the first half, Scott, not gaudy numbers for Garner, like 9 points a game, but tremendous 3-point shooting, and that's what Hope's all about.
And I think it makes it harder for coaching staff to advocate for their players come all conference time. Now, it helps when you win, but you've got to just show sort of all purpose, like they do this on assists, they do this on points.
Right.
But you don't have one person on whom you are always relying. So, but that's how you get to be a top 20 team in the nation, and for the last 5 years, top 12 team in the nation. So.
This is a Hope College program that's won 5 straight MIAA regular season titles and 4 out of the last 5 tournaments, and they have battled Trine, I think, every single one of those 5 years.
Yep, Trine has built a great program both on the men's and the women's side, and if you're a longtime Hope or Calvin person, you think, how could you be talking about MIAA basketball and Hope and Calvin not in the conversation? Well, they are in the conversation, but you can't discount Trine on either side, the men or the women. Nice steal by Gardner.
Kick out, trailing. Bench for St. Mary's screaming for a travel call. A shot clock at 1. I Hope did not see it.
I don't think we had a reset.
Right.
I think
it was a shot clock anomaly. I looked up. I couldn't believe it was 2 seconds. Now, where do you go from here, Scott V? If you're a referee, you know, you really don't have a handle unless somebody was looking at it. Oh,
well,
18.
there is a last memory reset on those shot clocks. And
so is that right?
They'll just go back and look at it, and then they'll shall we say, do the math. So we're gonna.
Thank goodness someone's doing the math.
So apparently there was 12 left.
Okay.
The last time, which is why we'll go with 18. So yes, I would always tell when I officiated college basketball, which I haven't done in some time, but I always say, just take a peek up before you hit reset, and if we have a false reset, I'll come to you and test your short-term memory.
Man with the answers, boy. Inside feed and a little hack as reaching in is MIAA Stevens, a freshman out of Concord, Michigan.
I don't know where Concord is.
You know, I think, you remember Jamie Shoes Huffman from Michigan State when he lost it in 79? I think he was from Concord, Michigan.
No kidding.
If you remember that, you're probably drawing Social Security. You're getting close.
That's impressive. I remember Shoes.
Yeah, Shoes.
I was a Wolverine fan, but how could you not love that team?
You bet. Nice move as Richards to Richards for the connection. They won a state title with Lansing Catholic their junior year. And now Restovich dribbling in traffic, kicks it out topside to Nicole Connolly. Connolly still with the basketball. Restovich took a walk, trying to make a move. Another turnover for St. Mary's.
Yeah, it's been a rough night for the Bells. That's their 14th on the night, and it has been a, shall we say, a growth area for St. Mary's going into the post-Christmas MIAA.
It's been a rough week. Their game against Holy Cross on Wednesday, they were down 34-14 after that first quarter. Kind of shades of first quarter here against Hope. Just couldn't get on track. Petrulia in the corner, 12 to shoot. Kick out. Maddie for three. Yes, sir!
Great ball movement. First, second, three.
Just such a smooth delivery. Very practical stroke from deep.
2 for 4 for the night, and all of them from three. She's done the math. If you get 3 halves, if you get 150% more points, you might as well just shoot it from there.
Even I can figure that one out. Petrulia working it near side. Chloe Brunsberg, 5 points in the first half to go along with 3 rebounds.
Good D there by St. Mary's. Good double team by Notaro and Annie Restovich.
We're moving it inside, using that frame advantage. Leah Richards getting the feet inside for Maynard, and she's going to the line.
That's going to be the 5th. Oh no, that's a media timeout. I used to say the great thing about Division III sports was no media timeouts. I'm becoming less able to say that with each passing year. So we're going to take a little break here as the teams will go to their benches. Hope with a commanding 30-point lead, 4:40 left in the third. You're watching Hope basketball.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing? Your title agency matters, and you have a choice. Lighthouse Title started in Holland, Michigan more than 20 years ago and has grown to over 45 locations. We are proud to be local in these communities. Visit Lighthouse Title for more information and use our online widget Louie the Lightkeeper to chat with someone today about how we can help you close on your new home.
Hope College hitting 48% for the night. That's above their season average of 40. That's what's going on here at the DeVos Fieldhouse. Mike Coleman, what's going on elsewhere?
Well, I'm glad you asked. A couple of finals in the MIAA as the first free throw is good by Leah Richards. Alma moves to 4-5 with a victory over Olivet, 62-51. They're locked into 4th place in the MIAA. And Albion, a team that has maybe underperformed, favored 5th out of 9 teams in the preseason. Washington won just their second game of the year as they defeat Kalamazoo on the road 54-47. So those are the finals in women's action today.
I once heard when I taught at a college at Northwestern, in Iowa, Northwestern College, I once heard their men's basketball coach say, Stoop, basketball is a long, fast season. It seems like it goes on forever, and it is done before you know it. An interesting paradox, because it does seem to drag. You get the Christmas break in there, and you got a lot of non-con games early on. But, you know, with expanding leagues, you know, when you got an odd number like you do in the women's, you got to start it early. The men still have the beauty of just, there aren't many leagues left like that. You got 8 teams, you got 7 opponents, you got 14 dates, 7 weeks, and you're done. And now there aren't many that can do that.
No.
Certainly not this 9-team league, or certainly mega conferences like the Wolverine Hoosier, or the Big 18 or whatever it's called now in Division I. So they have to start in November.
Oh, it's incredible. I can't even keep track of the conferences now. You got Brigham Young playing on the East Coast. Nice backdoor cut as Brunsburg took advantage of the Maynard feed. And Maynard now with 3 assists, and it's 57-23. Yeah, you're right. It's an evolving game. College, that's a conversation over a root beer just in all of college sports. Going for the steal is Petrulia. Passano trying to pass it away. Good defense on the perimeter by Hope. Baseline pop, skirts off, weak side rebound Maynard.
You know, you get an idea what kind of balance Hope has, and they have not had walkover games necessarily. I mean, they've won some of them by a decisive amount, but I count 3, 6, 9 players who have played in all 9 games. That's something. That's impressive.
Yes, it is.
6, 8, 9. And then Sid Viss would have been a 10th, but she got hurt. She's only played in 7.
Leah Richards with another basket down low. She has 10 points. She's now been in double figures 3 straight games, the freshman out of Lansing Catholic. And to your point, Scott, it's been a pretty tough schedule non-conference-wise for Hope.
Illinois Wesleyan and
Carroll.
Yep, absolutely.
I had a chance to watch that Hope Illinois Wesleyan game at Calvin. I was coming back from Wittenberg after calling men's action, and Illinois Wesleyan's a real deal, folks. They've got weapons.
So just to be clear, the voice of the Grand Rapids Gold drives back from Springfield, Ohio, doing a men's game, and just in his spare time stops and watches a women's game.
It was perfect.
Dude,
I mean,
I need to talk about life balance.
I almost pulled off the Hope playoff football game last week, but I was a day off. I never felt so brilliant in my life till I realized I was a day off.
The college plays on Saturday and the pros play on Sunday.
Yeah, it was mistakes were made, as they say. Maynard for 3. Bingo!
The 9th three-pointer by the Dutch tonight.
Yeah, they come in averaging almost 8 per game, 34%. The shooting's picked up the last 3 or 4 games for the Flying Dutch, and it had to.
Hitting a dead 50% today. That's way above their season average of 41.
You bet. Scramble for the basketball down low. Nataro and Maynard. Now Courtney Lee back in. Leah Richards with a well-deserved rest. Nice minutes by her. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists and a steal in 16 minutes. That's a nice full stat sheet.
So Courtney Lee, despite being hurt pretty noticeably in the first half, still has 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's
much
incredible.
Up there with everybody else. Leah Richards leading with 16 minutes.
You know, the balance. Maynard, plenty of time to line up the 3. She's not going to miss that one. Wow.
That's her 3rd 3.
In traffic, Kate Restovich going to go to the line. So I'm looking at the numbers here, Scott. We talked about Hope picking things up offensively as far as shooting. The last 3 games they played, victories over River Falls, Albion, and Olivet, they've been over 40% from the 3-point line. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think that, you know, I don't want to say it was chatter on campus, but as people talked about, I think when you're when you're coming off of a top 4 finish in several years and top 8 and always recognized as the nation's best, and you get an early loss like that, people are like, oh, that's we didn't expect that. And so they have 2 losses, but they were against 2 teams that were very good. I don't think this team is any less capable of making a deep run in the tournament than some of the others. They do have a little bit more youth, but I do think that those 2 losses might actually be helpful. We got spoiled expecting, well, we'll be 20-0 until we get to Trine. But, it doesn't work that way every year. And it doesn't mean that you can't be a top 8 team either.
That's true. And, that team that we had that went to the national tournament a couple years ago, very senior balanced, or senior led, I should say. And to your point, absolutely a little bit of a younger team here, but they certainly have a lot of weapons, inside outside play. They don't turn the ball over. They go to the free throw line a lot. Good poke away and good defense.
Hasnault looking for Kate Restovich, but it was good team defense intercepted that. There's Garner.
Brooklyn Roback with a poke away, the senior out of Clarkston, Michigan, getting some action for Brian Morehouse's Dutch. She works the top of the key. Garner missed, but new life on the offensive board. Minute left in the third. Hope in command, up by 40. 3 seconds, shot clock. Bellows to the rack. Layup is up and in.
Little hesitation move.
How about that? So crafty. Snuck her way in. Bellows with 8 points.
Courtney Lee with a takeaway.
Yep, it's been the story of the day for St. Mary's, inability to hang on to the basketball.
Everyone's got double-digit minutes except Roback, who's new, and she'll probably get some time, and then maybe some of these other folks will get a little bit of a break.
I would imagine so. 3 ball on the way. Olivia Bellows misses, and Courtney Lee trying the weak side offensive board over the back. Foul will be on Courtney Lee.
Bellows has had a great floor game. She has not been, she's got 8 points, but she hasn't been, shall we say, en fuego from the field. 3 for 12 overall, 0 for, haven't hit the reset yet. It's either 0 for 5 or 0 for 6 from, as you would call it, Mike, the long line.
Yeah, that's true.
You see, I'm one of your groupies. Like, before we worked together, I used to listen to you for 5 years. I was like, I got to steal these.
At the buzzer, that one skirts off. Well, some of the best stuff is borrowed, as they say, but I'll take that as a compliment, my friend.
I like R&D, rip off and duplicate. We finished 3 quarters, 67-25. Hope with a big lead. We're going to play a little Christmas music. And while we do that, we're going to hear from our good folks who make this possible. You're watching Hope Basketball.
My name is Megan Bigelow, and during my time there, I was on the Hope women's soccer team. I decided to choose Hope because of the opportunity to be involved in multiple things. I didn't want to go somewhere where I was just a number in the field. I was able to double major, experience both a business academic load as well as economics. I loved the opportunity to really get to know my professors. Hope exceeded my expectations.
I'm Nate Bauman. As an invested community partner, we're proud to help share Hope's stories of transformational impact.
Hope students are challenged to dig deeper. They're challenged to find their calling and shape their future. They're taught to empower their talents, chase their dreams, and encouraged to make a difference. The Hope student body is ready to change the world.
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from
Sorry about that, Gentex. We promised that we'll play that one at the next media timeout. We didn't do the math all that well. Hope leading 67-25 with the ball, and Mike Coleman with the call.
Thank you, Scott V. Hope's been in command. They started with a 15-0 run as Petrulia, good cut down low and getting fed by Petrulia is Grayson Guy, the sophomore, another 6-foot body out of Petoskey High School.
That's from your neck of the woods.
You bet.
Beautiful area. Had my boat up there. Part of the loop.
Yeah, I spent 10 years of my life in Petoskey area. A little bit west there at the moment. And now a dribble drive by Nataro, Maddie Petrulia with the reach in. Mad Dog with the personal foul.
So let me think. Petoskey on one side of the bay and Harbor Springs on the other, right?
Yes, Harbor Springs on the north end and Petoskey on the southern end of Little Traverse Bay, as they say. The blue of the bay is part of the pay, as they said.
Nice area.
You bet. Steal. Anna Richards. Anna Richards. As they're working on the corner, another 3-ball launch on the way. Tough angle for Maynard. Put back. Anna Richards with the offensive rebound. The 14th of the day, and Hope comes away empty.
Coming after 3 frames, Hope hit 51% for the game through 3 quarters, and compared to St. Mary's 29.4, they were led by Sid Viss with 13, Sister Leah with 10, and we've got our research team on the points off turnovers, Mike Coleman. We are still pitching a shutout. Hope 29, St. Mary's 0.
Well, it doesn't hurt that Hope has only had 6 turnovers, but St. Mary's not able to convert, as we've got another dribble drive and a foul. It's going to be on Grayson Guy, her first.
That might have been a up by 34 points call right there. I'm not sure. There was a lot of contact. Looked like pretty good defense.
Perhaps.
Grayson Guy kind of on the receiving end of a call or two I've been known to make when you have a 34-point game.
Well, I'll tell you, they call it catching equipment the tools of ignorance.
I need to work on my math. 44. I was good at math in high school.
That makes one of us. It's a thankless job in a way, referees, and as much as we'd like to talk about them, we sure respect them.
Kate Restovich, nice little 3 there. She's got finally got on the board. Is that her first bucket? I think that's her first bucket.
Well, Kate's got 13. Her sister Annie has had trouble getting started. But I was just going to mention the top 2 scorers for St. Mary's, Julia Schutz and Annie Restovich, just 7 points combined between them. They came in averaging over 21, so Hope's contained them very well.
Yeah, Schutz came in just south of 13.
Nice dribble drive, basket by Anna Richards, 4 of 5 from the field. How about a full stat line? 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals for the freshman Anna Richards. Boy, Kate Restovich, she is a solid ball handler in the top of the key.
4 for 9 from the field. She's thrown it up more than anybody else, and she's a good person to have, but Schutz has really been contained.
She has. Tried to backdoor cut into Taro, but Hope closes, help side defense. Now Brunsberg will back it out with 7:50 to play. Only question of what the final score would be. Maynard and 1.
Good stuff.
Wow, solid game for. We're going to have to put the research department. We got a couple tasks for them. As Maynard now with 13 points and a chance to add to her numbers. We'll have to see what her career high is.
I'll put the research team on that.
Same. As they say, I'll race you.
We'll just let the viewers watch the game.
That's right. You can always tell when a broadcaster is looking something up because he gets very quiet, which is atypical because we like to yap. Or we're looking up something and we're trying to research. Brunsberg, rainbow triple.
And it should be clear, we normally have 4 assistants each right here at our side,
right,
feeding us information. But currently they're on break, so we'll see them next when they come back after Christmas. We'll have our meeting in our private dressing room, and full of all the finest meats and cheeses in our pregame research meeting.
Yeah, four research assistants. It's from the makeup department, as in we made that up. By the way, good 3-ball by Annie Restovich. We do it all, folks, even when you don't want us to. 3-ball on the way, just under 7 minutes remaining.
I think that's going to be a foul before the shot. basket's going to go on Taryn Maynard. She's getting her money's worth. That's her third foul.
And she'll get a breather along with Maddie Petrulia. She checks out. Really nice numbers by her. She was one of the nominees of the Hopi's Female Newcomer of the Year, and high praise for a freshman. My goodness.
Yeah, indeed. Those are fun awards. You should come to that this spring.
Yeah, I was there 2 years ago. I actually presented one, the first category, missed it last year, but it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, you need to do that.
You bet.
I don't know if you know this, Mr. Coleman, but you're actually, to the right of you, is a Hope Award winner.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I mean.
Do tell.
It's not from the makeup department. I was the proud recipient of the Bunko Japinga Service to the Athletic Program Award.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was my last year's dean. Quite
beautiful. Well,
and
congratulations.
It was given to me by our athletic trainer, Annie Kerrigan, formerly Annie Japinga, Bunko Japinga's granddaughter.
How about that?
It was a poignant moment.
Oh my goodness!
A lot of fun. I've known Annie since she was a kid, and I hired her here, and it was an honor to get her grandfather's award. Bunko Japinga, decades long, bus driver, scorekeeper, equipment manager, you name it, he did it. So to get that award was that's way better than any of the books I published.
How about that? Well, we kid around a lot, but that's a poignant moment indeed, and a lot of respect for Annie Kerrigan, the trainer here. She has really had to do a lot of patch up over the last couple of years, especially with the men's team. So you wrote a book and got a Hopi. That's called a double-double in basketball. Putback is good by Guy.
I like to tell my students I've written 4 books that have been read by dozens of people around the world, and that is factually correct.
Well, I saw my better half write her dissertation to get her doctorate, and I didn't think she'd pick up a book again in her whole life. But she did it, so congrats.
Thank you.
By the way, that last basket by Lily Miller, not Grayson Guy, stand corrected. On the drive, Sarah LaPrairie, the freshman out of Rochester Stony Creek, and a good basket on the other end by Nicole Connolly.
We also got Lily Miller from Mona Shores High School, Mona Shores product in there, and Brunsburg, and let's not forget Brooklyn Roback.
Boy, Miller, 6'2", junior off the bench. We talked about 7 players 6 foot or taller for Brian Morehouse. 3 ball on the way. Misses, weak side rebound, fielded by Stevens. 5:14 left. Hope's going to move to 8-2 on the year. 3 ball missing, a good rebound by Miller. St. Mary's will fall. Their 6th straight loss, they're going to fall to 3-7. Another 3
Miller's
ball.
picked up, just played 16 minutes this season, so it's good to see her get some time.
You bet, and you never know. You never know when your name's going to be called. Like you mentioned the Savannah Feenstra injury a couple years ago on a team that was rolling towards postseason, and it shifted the lineup, it shifted the rotation, and you never know.
Emma Yakey into the game. We'll be back with the final part of the final period of this twin bill tonight. Hope with a commanding lead. I think we owe Gentex a spot. So Freddie, we'll take it back to you, and you are watching Hope Women's Basketball.
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from a world-class employer. Now's the time to join Team Gentex.
It's no secret. The best way to learn about Hope College is to spend time on our campus. The Hope admissions team invites you to a personalized visit experience you won't forget. Located in downtown Holland, Michigan, our historic campus is close to shopping and dining and just 10 minutes from Lake Michigan. We invite you to check out our campus tour options or sign up for an online tour with the Hope admissions office. There's never been a better time to see Hope College. Visit us at hope.edu/admissions.
Back at DeVos Fieldhouse for the final 4:49, and we are going to start this segment with another timeout. I think Coach Morehouse just wanted another 30 seconds to, I don't know, regale him, the team, maybe to get some subs. I couldn't quite figure out what was going on, but we do have Emma Yakey in. I think she was the last one to join the squad here. She is a sophomore from St. Charles, Illinois, on the beautiful Fox River, just to the west of the big city. You ever been there?
I have been by, not through, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Southern Illinois, I believe.
Yeah, mid-state.
Is it?
Yeah, you can take the Fox River south. I think you'll eventually pick up the Des Plaines and the Illinois Waterway, and you can continue out. So it's west. I don't know how far south it is.
I'm thinking of Belleville. Belleville's down by St. Louis, east of.
Oh, yeah, no,
I stand corrected.
Closer to like Batavia, I think.
Oh, there we go. Home of Devin Cheney. Devin, if you're listening, former Hope College basketball player, I think I owe you $3. I'll catch you next time.
Yeah, you will.
I saw him at Wheaton during the Wheaton game. It was like a homecoming. Robert Nosak, Devin Cheney. I thought it was an intervention. Good to see those guys.
Great kids.
Great kids, you bet. Such a good group last year that had a tremendous run. You know, speaking of men's basketball, Hope College 23-7 last year, 3 straight MIAA tournaments. They beat Trine, who went on to win the national championship, and then the 2 years previously with major upsets to win the tournament. It's been a great run for the Flying Dutchman.
Absolutely. They are tournament tested, and they come up big when they have to.
That is a fact. And here it's 78-35. Hope starters long out, a lot of players working hard in practice, and a jump ball getting some action, and we'll try and get all the numbers for you. By the way, you probably don't have this, Scott, but Morgan Miller, wearing number 33, senior, just was added to the roster before the game. Don't know much about her, but she'll greet the ball handler at midcourt.
Indeed. Avery Schleiser is in, number 24. She's a sophomore from Austin, Texas. Dominic Savio Catholic. And now we got a scrum on the board and a scrum on the floor, as I think we're going to get a foul. And I believe it's going to be on, who was the ad that you said? I think that she's going to pick up the foul. Number 33.
Oh, yes, Morgan Miller, yes.
Yeah, she's in the book, man.
She's working hard. She got the foul, and now number 3, Sarah LaPrairie back in. And you talked about Emma Yakey, just trying to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's. Grayson Guy. I think that's everyone. 11 have scored for Hope. Sorry, Scott.
No, that's all right. It looks like Corey Dews. She's got, this would be a fun player for St. Mary. She's a 5'11 freshman from Guerin Catholic in Noblesville, Indiana. That would be a nice career for her as she comes in for the first time. If I got the numbers right, yep, indeed she's
That is correct. Yeah, adding some height to the St. Mary's roster, 5'11".
Team's fourth. Also in Lauren, Guma from Troy High School. She's a senior, 5'3". Been with the, not getting a lot of time, but a faithful member of the Bells team through 4 years.
She got some starts last year. I remember that. You're right, a little less. Hook shot off the mark by Miller. She tacked the rim. And now on the run is Alyssa Matuza, the junior out of Troy. Kick out. Now the kick out. 3-ball on the way. Bank shot. She called it. How about Corey Dews right on target for the triple?
Just like you draw it up. Nice play. She's on the board. No, she's got 5 total now.
You bet. They don't all have to be extremely perfect to count. Nice feet inside, an easy basket.
Great post up. Really used her body, Lily Miller.
80-38, inside 3 minutes remaining. St. Mary's had just 32 points on the loss against Calvin, their only MIAA game. That was at Calvin, where they shot 9 of 44 for 20%, so they've eclipsed that with a 38-point effort.
Yeah, that was a rough night for the Bells.
It was.
They only shot 21%, and Calvin was not substantially better at 31, but it was a It was a rough night, and probably indicative of the kind of game that Hope and Calvin will have. I think it's Hope, Calvin, and Trine. Calvin might be a little down this year, but
I think they are kind of a rebuilding year for them, and Albion was supposed to be in the mix, but they've started off slow, and then Alma maybe might upset a few people, but I think it comes down to Trine Hope, like you said, in the first half, Scott.
There was a time Alma was a tricky team, and they had our number in women's basketball. Charlie Goffnet, he was a crafty coach, and he had our number in the early to mid 2000s.
And then Alma with that great basketball men's team back in 2015-16. They made it to the Elite Eight.
Sammy Hargraves.
Yep, Sammy, I see him at Olivet.
I used to love calling his games. He was always fun over there.
He's a character. He kind of messed with my microphone and always with a smile.
We might have a clipping call here.
I think so.
Go Brooklyn Roback, as I think she's just trying to, I don't know what she was trying to do, but we're going to get a foul, and it's going to send her number mate, number 21, Maeve Lunt, to the line. She's a 5'8" sophomore from Forest Park, Illinois, not far from where my colleague in the psychology department grew up. I think Forest Park is near Maywood, if I'm not mistaken, near Loyola University campus.
Okay, now I didn't know where Maywood was or Forest Park, but I know where Loyola is. So
I think that's it. And if I'm incorrect, please send all email grievances to Freddie Velasquez, Director of Video Services.
Sorry, Freddie. 80-38. Hope College in command. Roback working baseline, up strong in the finish. Good play by Roback.
She's on the board. She's got 8 minutes in the books and a bucket to her name, along with a personal foul. Good to see her.
Quick three on the way. Yeah, it's always nice. The gals work so hard in practice to get some playing time. You never know when it pays off. In the miss down low with 15 to shoot, 1:21 to play. Cross-court pass, another three-ball launch on the way, short and taking a tumble and drawing contact, as it looks like Maeve Lunt, the sophomore out of Forest Park, like you just mentioned, is going to go to the line to shoot, say this fast, 3 free throws.
There we go.
Got
I
it.
think Lily Miller picked up another personal, and she has certainly earned every one of them. I think that was the first one was out in the middle of the court as she tried to play some defense, and that time she plowed the three-point shooter, so there'll be 3 there. So Clarkston, Michigan is the home of
well, my sister, for one thing.
And Brooklyn Roback.
Okay,
perhaps
that's right.
The 2 most famous people, but perhaps the most ignominious one, and you're going to have to go deep into reserves, at least 20 years back. If you want to Google Kip Litton, I believe it's Litton. He made New York Times Magazine and public radio for being, he's a dentist, and he figured out how to fabricate race results to the point where he would then doctor the results of these races and report himself as the winner.
Like running races?
Running races. He even got to the point where he created his own marathon that didn't exist, like the Wyoming Marathon or the Montana, and he made himself the winner. So if you ask old timers, like, have you ever heard of Kip Litton? Very few, but I always ask my students who are from Clarkston, have you ever heard of Kip Litton? They go, no, I've never heard of it. So you got to look him up. Clarkston is famous.
Well, you know, as a former runner, I take great offense to that, but that is, I'm going to have to look him up now.
The story is very, very old in my mind, but it's from January 12th of the New Yorker. It's called Marathon Man, and it is well worth the read. It is really, really funny.
So was it using technology to do that, or just
he would break into the software, and he finally got caught because these other runners were calling these races. You know, let's say it was the Indianapolis, and he said, you know, I saw that guy out there, and I was ahead of him the whole time. I don't know what, yours must be something wrong with your software. And he finally got caught. And I don't know if there's a law against it, but it was sort of the end of, certainly the end of his racing career. I don't know what it did to his dental practice.
Well, if they didn't see him cross the finish line, you know, and then there's no way he'd stand on the podium. Yeah. I wouldn't have the gumption to do that. 3-ball on the way.
For those of you who are interested in recent sports history, New Yorker Magazine, 2012. The article's called Marathon Man.
Look up narcissistic. Holy cow. All right, we digress. Hope over the 80-point threshold for the third time this year. They had 82 against Anderson in the win here and 99 in the season opener against Wilmington. Kip Litton. Scott, you always cease to amaze me. 23 seconds left. Hope's going to move to 8-2. 3-ball, corner pocket. Skips out. Boy, St. Mary's getting a host of three-point opportunities.
Nice rebound by Grayson Guy.
You bet. Contact in the backcourt.
That's the second board by Grayson.
Boy, if this ends up, Hope's going to finish 4 straight games now shooting over 40% from 3. That's phenomenal. Yeah. 11 for 27 for 40.7%, and that's the most three-pointers that Hope has made all season long.
Led by Sid Viss and Taryn Maynard with 3 each.
Yeah, Taryn Maynard, 3 of 6, just 3 points off her career best of 16. Maynard off the bench with 13.
And Sydney Viss took her first-year seminar professor's advice. She quit shooting. She ends tonight 5 for 5 overall and 3 for 3 from.
She must have saw the stat sheet.
Yeah.
Did you text her?
No, I didn't. You got to let the players play.
That's right.
But, maybe she learned something in first-year seminar about statistics. Who knows?
Scott V in the know. Well, if you haven't guessed it, in the education department at Hope, among other things, the grand poobah, the dean, and things of that nature, stuff that out of my pay scale. And we're just going to dribble this one out. And Hope with a big victory over St. Mary's, and they win their 33rd straight game over the Bells of St. Mary's as St. Mary's taking their lumps. But, you look at things individually, Scott. You look at the Bells team. They got a couple of good weapons on that team, and Kate Restovich and Julia Schutz. Yeah, she had a quiet game, but very talented as a player's coach to shake hands.
Yeah, I think that there's a future for St. Mary's. I think they've got some youth. It's they haven't really been able to sort of build any kind of momentum in women's basketball, but they can surprise some people. I think that their star could be on the rise, so that's what will be for St. Mary's. For right now, the Hope College Flying Dutch have a few days off, and then they're going to go get challenged in Springfield, Ohio, against a couple of really good Ohio opponents. That's a good test for them. And then Coach Mo will give them a few days off. My guess is by 5 o'clock on January 1st, they will be back in the gym and getting ready for the Knights of Calvin University. And so it's been a good preseason. 2 losses, but I think they were losses. They were, if there's such thing as a quality loss, against quality teams. IWU, as you said, a powerful team. So I'm excited about this season. I have not been around a whole lot, partly because of volleyball and also because of my basketball officiating, but I'm excited to be back on with you, my friend, and wishing you blessings as you are going to be on the shelf for a few days. And who knows, maybe Mackenzie will give me the call to do the play-by-play next weekend.
Well, we will see. Speaking of, as long as you preface that, the men will be in action. Our next broadcast will be this Friday at 7 o'clock as they take on Rose Holman right here at DeVos Fieldhouse. And then Saturday, a 3 o'clock tip against DePauw to close out the non-conference portion of the schedule. 3 straight home games for Hope men after 8 on the road. And then, believe it or not, Hope, after that Wittenberg trip in Springfield, Ohio, this coming weekend, they've got 5 straight on the road in MIAA action beginning January 4th at Calvin in the rivalry game at Van Ord Arena before our next broadcast, believe it or not, January 22nd against Adrian. That's a 5:30 tip right here on the network. How about that?
It's going to be a great MIAA season. Like I say, it's a long, fast season. So that's terrific. I'm excited. Thanks. It's great to be back in this spot. Great to be working with you, and wishing you well in your time away. I hope that it goes well for you, and we will see you back what, January 22nd?
January 22nd. But before we go, 11 score for Hope, 13 by Sydney Viss, 13 by Taryn Maynard, 10 by Carla Brunsberg, and 10 by Leah Richards. Really nice balance, and boy, you shoot 41% for the long line, Scott V. Good things will happen, you bet.
Absolutely. One thing that has happened is that our cameraman has left his post. We want to thank Mr. Steve Secor. He doesn't have his headset anymore. That's why the camera's not moving. And our boss, El Jefe, Freddie Velasquez. The grown-ups are in the house today because the students have all gone home. For Mike Coleman, this is Scott Vanderson. We want to thank you for joining us. We will see you for our next broadcast. This has been a doubleheader of Hope College basketball.
There are over 5,000 colleges and universities in the United States alone, and nearly every single one of them is named after a location or a historical figure. But along the shores of Lake Michigan, there is a school whose namesake is not a founder, not a historical figure, not a state, city, or physical landmark. It is named after an ideal, a virtue, a way of life. Its name is hope. It is so easy to get lost in what this world lacks, to become discouraged by its needs, gaps, and flaws. Can we see beyond the uncertainty and brokenness? At Hope College, we do. Not by ignoring the world as it is, but by learning and living with the belief that this is not the world as it should be, by driving to understand, to unlock clarity, to amplify truth, by leading with inspired compassion, by embodying a vision that illuminates greater opportunity for all, by serving with anchored conviction, using our collective gifts to offer this world what it needs most. Hope. Not simply hope as a desire, but hope as a way of being. Because hope has changed the way we see the world. And hope drives us to change the way the world is. Because hope shapes our calling. Because hope inspires our dreams. Because hope empowers our talents. Because hope frees us to try. Because hope transforms what we believe, transforms how we act, transforms who we are. At Hope College, we know this life-altering grace is a gift we have all been given, and it is the greatest gift we can offer the world. Hope transforms.